Hey everyone, it's Ben from Warralily. So I am here with a very, very special guest. One of my favourite people, Mel Gray from Fastrack Conveyancing. Mel, how are you?
Good, Ben, you?
I am excellent. Now I've got to make sure I don't monopolise the microphone. So Mel, you're a conveyancer.
Yes.
So, while you're here, obviously letting the world know, obviously, about your knowledge, is what does a conveyancer do? So that's one of the questions we get a lot from first home buyers specifically. So in a really, really brief sort of summary, can you explain what your role is?
So my role personally, I act for the vendor for Warralily. So we communicate with the purchaser's legal representatives to basically work from contract signing through to settlement. So it's really just a transfer of ownership between the vendor and the purchaser.
Yeah. So so you're a conveyancer, you own Mel Gray Conveyancing. I come in to see you, I've just put a deposit on a block of land, I've got a contract in my hand but I haven't signed it. Would the first part of the process, would that be you reviewing the contract on my behalf?
Yeah, so we'd review the full contract and let you know your liabilities under the contract, what you need to look out for if there's conditions in the contract that we think you shouldn't be stuck to. We would request from the vendor's legal rep to cross them out of the contract. But yeah, so basically just a review.
Protecting my interest to make sure I didn't sign anything that I shouldn't sign.
Yeah.
So that's the first part of the process. So the next part of the process, so first home buyer, I might need finance. So I'm assuming you guys would somehow track and work with my broker and track the finance application and that sort of part of the process?
Yeah, so we would deal really closely with your broker, obviously follow them up where your application's at. If you needed an extension to the terms that were in your contract, we'd get advice from your broker. They'd let us know that we're on track or we need a few extra weeks, so that's when we would then put in the request for an extension to the vendor's legal rep.
So you guys you're the glue, you sort of bring everything together. And then the last thing that you guys do is the settlement.
Yes.
So it's obviously a bit different to what it used to be.
Yes.
But you just want to give a brief insight in regards to what happens at settlement. How does it happen? How does it work?
Yep. So we've recently all just moved on to an online settlement PEXA. It's called PEXA. So it's an online settlement
Too many
platform.
P's. Yeah.
So it makes life real easy now. So it's pretty much just a workspace, and all your representative parties are involved. So the purchaser's banks, the mortgagee on title for the vendor, obviously ourselves acting for the vendor and the purchaser's legal representative. And you just put all your funds in there, your destination, where the funds need to go. And yeah, it's super easy compared to the old times when you had to push paper across tables and whatnot.
Physically rock up to a meeting.
Yeah. It's delayed. It's really reduced settlement extensions, because if it doesn't settle at the nominated time in the PEXA workspace, it just keeps rolling over. So it sort of gives you until 4:30 the day of to settle. So yeah, it's made life a lot easier.
Excellent.
Yes.
So you've obviously heard it from Mel. Super important role with regards to what she and her colleagues do. A couple other top tips in regards to conveyancing. So what would be the difference between a conveyancer and a solicitor?
Absolutely nothing. So we would do the same work. The real only difference would be the price that you'd pay from a conveyancer compared to a solicitor. So
it's a bit more expensive if you go with a solicitor,
definitely.
Whereas conveyancers, their bread and butter, what you do day in, day out, is conveyancing.
Yes.
And then I think another top tip you mentioned before we finish off, because I know vlogs that go past, say, 3, 4, 5 minutes, people tend to keep flicking. But hang in there for the last bit.
Stay tuned.
Which is Google reviews. So you actually get online. If you're looking at a conveyancer, go and check out some reviews as to past clients.
Definitely, even Facebook reviews. Everyone's really into putting out their reviews for firms and whatnot, good or bad. So yeah, definitely do your research and check out. Yeah, make sure you go with the right person.
Fantastic. And as the machinery starts up in the background, because we are in Metricon's warehousey mezzanine thing.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys have a fantastic day. We'll also post a shorter video on Instagram. Cheers. Thanks, Mel.
Thanks.